A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Somers, New York. In a fiery town hall meeting held on Sunday night, U.S. Representative Mike Lawler faced a torrent of criticism from constituents in his suburban New York district. The event, held in a packed prep school auditorium, quickly escalated into chaos as attendees expressed their discontent over various issues, particularly President Donald Trump's aggressive political agenda. The atmosphere shifted dramatically when Lawler, in his opening remarks, declared, "This is what democracy looks like," prompting laughter and skepticism from the audience. As the evening progressed, tensions rose sharply when the congressman mentioned Federal Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., igniting a chorus of jeers from the crowd. Lawler attempted to engage with the audience by asking, "So you want, for instance, petroleum-based dyes to continue?" But his comments only fueled further outrage. Republicans, especially those in vulnerable districts like Lawler, have been cautious in recent months, reflecting a broader concern among party leadership about potential backlash from constituents. Lawler, who is considered a moderate and recently won a second term, has taken a different approach by actively engaging with voters. This town hall was not his first. He held another just weeks prior and has plans for more in the future. However, the atmosphere at this particular event was anything but welcoming. To manage the crowd, Lawler's staff implemented strict ground rules, requiring attendees to RSVP, verifying district residency, and prohibiting recording devices. Signs at the entrance urged attendees to be respectful to one another, staff, and the congressman. Unfortunately, the rules did little to quell the discontent in the room. The situation escalated dramatically when a woman in the audience began to speak out during Lawler's response to a question about tariffs. Law enforcement moved in to escort her out, prompting chants of "Let her stay" from the crowd. As she was removed, the audience erupted in shouts of "Shame! Shame! Shame!" Lawler attempted to regain control, stating, "Folks, tariffs are way more complicated than you want to make them," but his words fell on deaf ears as the crowd groaned in disapproval. The unrest continued as more attendees were escorted out, leading to a palpable sense of frustration in the auditorium. Among the audience was 74-year-old retiree Jeanette Spohr, who expressed her disappointment at not being called on to ask about Social Security and Medicaid. "You're not helping your constituents if you're making it hard for them to get help," she lamented, adding, "I have no hopes for this guy." Another attendee, Christy Thompson, 52, criticized Lawler's lengthy responses, claiming they failed to address the core concerns of the crowd. "He claims to be available to constituents, but he isn't," she asserted. As the evening drew to a close, the crowd began to walk out during Lawler's response to a question about protests against Israel. Although he attempted to continue his answer, he ultimately stopped speaking as the room emptied. "I appreciate everybody coming out tonight and taking the time to ask your questions and hear my answers, whether you liked them or not, or agreed with them or not," he stated, attempting to acknowledge the audience's participation amid the chaos. However, his words did little to mend the rift that had formed between him and his constituents. This tumultuous town hall reflects a growing disconnect between lawmakers and the voters they represent. As sentiments continue to shift and political tensions rise, it remains to be seen how Lawler and other politicians will navigate the challenges of engaging with an increasingly vocal and dissatisfied electorate. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.